And did you guys have an opportunity to see his bat-you-know-what crazy interview with Brett Bair? And this was an edit interview, and it was still crazy. Speaking of crazy, Brett Bair asked an appropriate question to Donald Trump. What about those 19 state AGs that are filing a lawsuit against you and a judge that agreed that you were breaking the law? Listen to Donald Trump's response and the question from Brett Bair.
Some of your plays have raised some questions and had some pushbacks. 19 states attorneys general filed a lawsuit, and early Saturday, a judge agreed with them to restrict Elon Musk and his government efficiency team, Doge, from accessing Treasury Department payment and data systems. They said there was a risk of irreparable harm. What do you make of that? And does that slow you down on what you want to do?
No, I disagree with it 100%. I think it's crazy. And
isn't it interesting that he calls all the judges crazy that rule against him? That any judge that stands up to him and says, you know what, you have to respect the rule of law, that judge is crazy. But if you're Judge Cannon and you make the wrong judgments and you agree with Donald Trump on everything and you wear the Donald Trump knee pads, you're some sort of patriot and hero. But if a judge upholds the rule of law, all those judges are crazy. We could be talking about the 2020 election and questioning the election results. Even some of those Trump-appointed judges were quote-unquote crazy. But if somebody rules in favor of Trump or is wearing the Donald Trump knee pads, then all of a sudden they're patriots. And then Brett Bair asked him about trusting Elon Musk, which, by the way, nobody should trust Elon Musk, not even his kids and his family members. But listen to this.
me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
Bottom line, you say you trust him.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him to do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse. But I campaigned on this, Brett.
Is there literally anybody in this country that would believe that might be the statement of the day? Elon's not getting anything out of this. Okay, so hold on. Elon Musk donated hundreds of millions of dollars to your campaign, didn't expect to get anything in return. Is there anybody in this country that believes that? First of all, it's 100% not true, because he's literally made billions of dollars in just less than the first month of Donald Trump's tenure back in office. So Elon is going to probably make trillions of dollars in profits on a $300 or so million investment into Donald Trump's campaign. So if there is anybody on this planet, and I'm sure there are, because there's a lot of stupid people that voted for Donald Trump that probably believe every word that comes out of that orange orangutan's mouth. Is there any reasonable person with an IQ over 20 that thinks that Elon isn't, quote, getting anything out of this? He's just doing this out of the goodness of his heart. Are people in this country really that stupid that they believe him? Make no mistake about it, Elon Musk does not care about this country any more than Donald Trump does. They are only in it for themselves. If Elon is doing all this stuff because he really cares about the United States of America, yeah, okay. Sure. I cannot believe there are people in this country that believe that. Listen, there are still people in this country that think Donald Trump is make America first and he cares about normal, everyday, hardworking Americans. Those people are what I call complete idiots, insurrectionists, dumbasses, you name it. And then the question went as far as to talk about Trudeau, and he's still doubling down on Canada being the 51st state, which is an absolute joke. Have a listen to this.
You know, the Prime Minister said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen, he was a private meeting, he said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state, because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year, essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
Right. Canada is going to be the 51st state, just like you're going to buy Gaza and you're going to put troops on the ground. Just like you were going to hire a special prosecutor to go after Hillary Clinton, just like you were going to build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it, just like you were going to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, just like you were going to be the toughest president on China, and then you caved in the middle of the night last week, and we got nothing in return. In fact, as Ron Filipowski just pointed out, China implementing those 25% tariffs are far worse than any of the tariffs that Trump has implemented there. You got nothing from Canada. You got nothing from Mexico. You got nothing from China. And you're going to continue to get nothing from world leaders while you embarrass yourself and embarrass the country and screw our economy. There are some supermarkets out there where you can't even buy eggs. And if you are, they're about $6 or $7 for a dozen. You promised that you were going to lower inflation and gas prices. They're up dramatically since you took office. You promised to help middle America and those that are struggling living to paycheck while their pharmaceutical drugs have doubled since you took office because you signed an executive order abolishing what Joe Biden worked so hard to put together to make prescription drugs cheaper for normal everyday Americans. When you ask one of these MAGA morons, and that's what so many of them are, what has Donald Trump done in the first month to help people that are struggling? You'll get a deer in headlights look, or they'll say something without anything specific, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Donald Trump is screwing our economy. And when some of these people finally figure it out, and listen, I'm not saying they all will, they will probably do what Donald Trump does. They'll blame it on Joe Biden. They'll blame it on Pete Buttigieg. They'll blame it on George Soros. And then when that doesn't work, they'll blame it on DEI hires. They'll blame it on black people. Then when that doesn't work, they'll blame it on migrants. And then when that doesn't work, they'll just go back into their right-wing cave and put on Newsmax and Fox News and then go to bed after pleasuring themselves to their Donald Trump poster. That's what these idiots in this country do.